All right, we got no video on me, but that's all right. Um, so going over the event schedule. Saturday, 7:30 a.m. Everything opens up. Chronographs open up. Air opens up. Paint opens up. Registration is open.
Thank you.
At 9 a.m., we'll have a player orientation meeting that shouldn't take any more than 15 minutes.
Bullshit. I need at least 5 to 10.
That's on y'all.
Yeah, that's on y'all. I'm talking about what I got to do.
Oh,
Y'all
okay.
do whatever you want to do.
Right.
I mean, break out the real steel. I don't care. You know. Uh, so 10 a.m. the game starts. 6 p.m. general gameplay ends and the night mission begins. Okay, that's the smuggler's run that we talked about. 7 p.m. the night mission ends. If they don't make it out within an hour, they just don't make it out. And the pirate party, of course, is on Saturday night. Sunday, again, same thing, 7:30. Everything opens up again. Everything's ready for you. Chronos, everything. There is no orientation on Sunday. At 10 a.m., the game starts. Goes to 1 p.m. And at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., there's a final battle, and at 2 p.m., the game ends. So, Joe, is this schedule okay with you? I mean, you.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got that. We got that locked down. There's an introductory thing here about esports paintball that's in the rules. Gives you some tips about it. It makes the statement that is very, very important. Players under 13 cannot use the game app due to the COPPA restrictions.
Right, and I'm gonna ask you guys, just so everyone hears that is not our choice, and I need the commanders to help enforce that. I'm not trying to be a pain. I understand there may be some parents that want their kids to do it, and they log in and hand to their kids. You can't let them do that. That opens up Ronan. That opens up Joe and Sherwood. That opens us all up to liability because it's a federal law, and they're. I know everyone thinks that in the scenario world we can work around it and pretend, but that's not the way it works. And while it doesn't make sense to us, I can assure you it's already been looked at by several attorneys, and all of them state, no, you can't do it. So if you see it, please ask the person not to put his kid on it or her kid. And if they do, I need you to let us know so that we can remove that account. Okay?
Can do.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. When they turn 13, they can be all on it. I want kids to use it. That's where it came from. But unfortunately, right now, we just can't.
Okie doke. So we've covered that. Let's get into the actual standard rules. Basically, chronograph limits 280, balls per second 12, mode semi-auto, event paint only, whether it's first strike or whether it's round ball. Event paint only. Officers, you're not going to like this, but it's the way it's going to be. Paintball pistol speeds for the officers are set at 250. Round ball only, no first strike.
Oh,
Nerf pistols can also be used. They don't need the chronograph. So chronograph your marker in the approved area. Judge will punch your badge indicating your marker was checked for the play period. Grab your gear, head to the spawn point for game on. There will be random spot checks by the referees on the field during the event. 280 feet per second, 12 balls max, no modes, no excuses. Okay, approved commercially made safety equipment required. Mask always required on field and in chronograph areas. Standard quarter size mark from a direct hit elimination. Gear hits count. Players caught breaking any standard paintball rules such as wiping, playing on, or overshooting will be eliminated. Judge punch and a penalty applied to their side, as well as them. I mean, they'll get the judge punch, but you generals you admirals, excuse me, will wind up paying the piper for that.
Mm.
So this is why even though they're not on the boats, you still control them. Commanders, you got a lot on your plate with this one. Paint checks. You are still live while calling for one, but you can't defend yourself. You can't shoot back. So expect, if you're calling for a paint check, expect to get shot again. Surrender rules. Surrenders are optional. They do not have to be offered nor accepted. You cannot fake and accept. In other words, I get to drop on you. You say, I surrender. I say, okay, you turn around and shoot me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a penalty.
That's cheating.
Yes, it's cheating. It's mean. It's mean. We don't want to be mean, Right.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Fuck you too, Justin. Okay. No dead man walks. No faking eliminations. No faking injuries or medical conditions. No tools on the field. No unapproved pyros. No tripwires. No remote controlled equipment. No aggressive physical contact. You will be ejected immediately from the event and the property. Joe, I got a backup from you on that?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Barrel tags. There is only one exception, okay? None of the players can do barrel tags, but you officers, when you're out there with your sword and your pistol, you can barrel tag a person, okay? And it's going to be just captain with the gun barrel tag. Do not touch anybody who is not an officer with your melee weapons. We don't want to open that can of worms. So don't barrel tag them with your sword. Don't barrel tag them with your axe. Barrel tag them with your pistol or shoot them because you're only shooting 250. Okay?
Right. That's part of the reason why we did that, because you're primarily going to be barrel tagging people that are there to play paintball. So that's the reason why barrel tagging them with a paintball pistol is something they're aware of and they know if you don't want to shoot them. And because of the close proximity that officers can be, that's why it's 250 and less and no first strikes.
Yeah, plus, if you guys are going to go toe-to-toe, I want to see you get within range to go toe-to-toe. I don't want somebody shooting somebody with a first strike round from 40, 50 feet, 60 feet. I don't want to see that.
Right.
I want to see you guys get up close and personal and hammer this stuff out like real men. Okay. My comedy routine fell flat on its ass. That's all right. Minimum shooting distance. None. Let me repeat that. Minimum shooting distance. None. It is very likely you will be shot up close at least one time during this event. Due to the scale of the event, it is possible you could be shot by several players at once. This is a completely safe and normal part of 68 caliber play when you suck. When you are eliminated, move quickly and clearly signal you are eliminated by saying out or eliminated. Raise your marker over your head, move out of the way, and put the barrel sock on as soon as possible. No hotheads. Mad, frustrated, stop what you're doing, exit the field, get some water, go and see the game director. Spawns. This is an instant spawn game. Simply return to your assigned spawn point, wipe off any hits, touch the base, remove your barrel sock, and you are live again. There is no insertion window. Constant. Now, it's very important to remember, and you admirals and you captains and stuff, you've got to make sure your people understand this, that this is an instant spawn game, okay? So the QAR and the Flying Dutchman, their respawn point is their boat. So in other words, if we're out there in the field and the QAR's got people off the boat and they get shot, they run back to their boat, tag the boat, wipe the hit off, come back in. Okay. Now, if you're on the boat and you get eliminated by a cannonball, guys, and we went over this, just a reminder, if you get eliminated by a cannonball in a ship-to-ship contact, you must go back to your insertion point. You don't just get to drop off and then tag the boat. No, you have to go back to your insertion point. Okay. Now, for the QAR and the Dutchman, if they get knocked out by a cannonball, they have to go to their boat respawn points, which is the lower tank trail for the Dutchman and the upper tank trail for the QAR. Everybody understand that?
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
I can't see nobody, so. This is a multi-sided event. There are two large sides battling. Pirates of Sherwood in yellow under King Pirate Joe against Her Majesty's Royal Navy in blue under Admiral Roger. Independent crews of the Queen Anne's Revenge are orange and sail for Blackbeard and personal riches. Davy Jones and his undead servant, the former Captain Bryant, are damned for eternity, prowling the seas with the near indestructible Flying Dutchman. He has our color designated as red. Okay, I may change that to black. Just because, you know.
To clarify, the QAR is flagged as black in the app, I believe.
The QAR is flagged as black because you had them marked as orange, Alan.
And they're orange on paper. They're going to be black in the app, and we'll verify that.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. We're going to talk about the melees here. This event features extensive melee combat. Each faction has an assigned captain and 2 officers for each of their ships in addition to their admirals. All of these select characters may arm themselves with approved LARP weapons. Ready for battle brand is the standard. When armed with a melee weapon and paintball, when armed with a melee weapon and a pistol, whether it be a paintball pistol or a Nerf, they cannot be eliminated with paintballs. Bold letters, you cannot shoot them with paintballs. Intentionally tagging someone you cannot eliminate is considered overshooting and will result in the appropriate penalties applied to you and your entire side. Do not try to get their attention. Exit the area rapidly and direct your officers to deal with them. The officers can eliminate you by a barrel tag with their pistol or by shooting you. Officers are not permitted to touch non-officers with their melee weapons. Officers are the only people in the game that can barrel tag you. Paintballs, of course, must break. All Nerf rounds need to do is hit you. Okay? And we get down.
What Nerf round? There's not a Nerf round.
Huh?
If you use the Nerf pistol
Nerf pistol. Okay, you're right.
Yeah, if you're using a Nerf pistol, yeah, that's
correct.
Are we restricted to the Nerf darts? The Nerf?
You can use the
balls,
Nerf
the Nerf
pistols, or
discs?
you can use the darts or the balls.
Yeah, either one. That's why I'm no issue with either one because they probably won't even chronograph, to be honest with you.
Right.
So I don't have any problems as far as Nerf goes. I don't have any problems with pistols. I don't have any problems with the little round Nerf balls. Both are good in my book as far as Nerf goes. And no, you don't need to chronograph those.
How are we planning on chronoing the Havocs this year?
How are we planning on chronoing the Havocs?
Yeah.
You take them over to the chronograph and you're going to shoot a ball across the chronograph.
If you can get that ball to go across the chrono, we'll be impressed. If the ball will make it across the chrono, it'll be.
It won't read it over the chrono. That's what problem we had last year. What we ended up doing was turning them all the way down till they didn't work, turned them back up till they did work, and then tried to turn them down a little bit more. And that's what we really did.
Okay, I'm not familiar with what you guys did last year.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why is, Bobby, because there's no velocity. So you got to understand that these styrofoam things,
Yeah.
literally, the higher you turn it up, the worse it flies, and they
Right,
will
yep.
and they will destroy. I mean, it'll come out
They
in pieces.
disintegrate.
So the truth is, there's not really any way to chrono it except they have to go in and try to get it to where the ball will go 5 or 6 feet without imploding or that. So there's not really
Okay,
a
so we're
chronoing of
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
So basically, we're letting these guys tune their guns up to a point where Paul can shoot straight, which is not going to give us any kind of chronograph reading.
Correct.
In other words, you're telling me the speed's going to be too low to
Right. Yes.
be acknowledged.
Bobby,
Yeah.
it's going to be one of the saddest things you've ever seen when they face off.
It's
Yeah.
great when we're fighting.
It's excellent.
It doesn't look very
I love
impressive when it's just the Havoc and a dude trying to do it. But when you've got the boat sailing, it becomes quite impressive because the balls are going everywhere.
It sounds cool as hell, Bob.
And then when you're 5 foot apart from the other guys or 6 foot apart from the other team and you're all just going off with the boo, 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 boo. Holy shit.
It sounds like broadside.
It's crazy.
Moving on. Let's
Yeah.
move on, guys.
Moving on.
All right. So moving
All
into
the
the final part
ships.
of the rules. Ships. Ships cannot shoot paint at the players. Players cannot shoot paint intentionally at the ships. You and only you are responsible for the shot that comes out of your marker. Players cannot use ships as bunkers. Ships may only engage other ships with cannons. So if you still have questions about these rules, I'm directing them to talk to your commander or their XO first. If you're curious about the app and how it works, get with one of the guys on the field that's using the app and tag along with them, and they can show you how it works. That's the best way I can describe it. And that's it. That's it. That's all the rules for paintball this game.
And
Questions, comments, concerns?
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to clarify no throwing weapons.
No throwing weapons.
Well, you can't. So how are you going to throw something if you have a sword in your hand and a pistol in your hand?
Well, even if and specifically, so now that I went over the rules, I just wanted to clarify because I know some other people bought like throwing LARP weapons.
They're cool to go with, but no.
You really
Now-
can't.
Right.
I get
Now,
what you're saying.
here's the reason
Cold
why, and
steel,
so
baby,
everyone
cold
understands that is this. Last year we had like 7 people with melee weapons.
hmm
This year we've increased that to 17.
Yeah.
If that works, then next year all of the independent crews will be able to use melee weapons as well as all the crews on each side. So you now potentially have 85 to 90 people with melee weapons, and then we can kind of add to it. So we want to kind of stack it. So we are going to do throwing weapons. We just can't do it this year with all
We'll
the
work up
other
to it.
moving pieces that we've got going.
Yep, sounds good. I know Bobby. Well, Paco was told no, so I just wanted to clarify it in front of everybody in case.
Correct.
somebody said-
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Paco sent me a request. He told me how they were constructed. I went and checked it out, and yeah, they look fine. But here's the thing: the minute that thing leaves your hand, you're no longer neutral.
Invincible. Right.
You can be blasted by anybody.
Right.
Well, and you can't use the sword. So initially, he would be thinking like, oh, he could just throw a knife at the other player. So if it's two captains fighting with swords, even if he drops his pistol real quick to throw the knife, he may be no longer invincible, but he could get a hit on the other captain. But
Won't do him any good if he's dead.
Right.
you're right. If somebody else shoots him.
Yeah, because let's face it, you guys are going to have when you guys do your duels, your crews are going to be standing around to see how you do.
Oh yeah. I can guarantee you, anybody from the QAR, we're going to have guns on you.
Yeah, and I
That's how it's
tell
gonna
you,
work.
the minute you don't have a pistol or you don't have a sword in one of your hands, pistol and sword, the minute you don't have one in the hands, you're going to get shot.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
get-
fine.
You're going to get shot by several people, probably.
And
Now, and then
the idea
realize
of working
during the
up to
fight
it is
clubs-
fine as well.
Right. And then the Fight Club mission, because those are going to come in. That's how a lot of the props are going to come in the game.
Yeah.
It'll be a call to the admirals, and it'll be okay. Send 5 officers, swords only to the castle, and basically whoever owns the castle with melee weapons will get the prop.
Yep.
Or he may allow pistols. It'll all come from the game director to the commanders on those, but that'll be how some of the props come in. It'll be people out there fighting in full costume with their melee weapons, not necessarily in a duel. It may be 5-on-5 or 7-on-7, whatever.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
I have one topic to add. We do have new players coming to this game. First time paintball, first time scenario players. #GrowPaintball. Some of them will be in rental equipment. We're turning them to brand ambassadors from various teams as best we can. See that they don't get murdered and would like to come back. If you want to grow this hobby, we have to be nice to the new players.
Right.
Alan,
Not
did you ever
just-
find that
don't
guy's
just-
name? Because I haven't heard back from him.
They just two people just registered with Kathy, and I will get the names to you shortly.
Okay.
So can I tell them goodbye? Have a nice day. Thank you. Come again.